Now, let's explore a truth that many overlook in epic fantasy stories. Friendship isn't just about support, it's about transformation. It changes heroes in ways even they cannot predict. Imagine a hero who believes they must carry the burden alone. Every step feels heavier, every battle lonelier. Then, a friend steps forward, not to lead, but to walk beside. Suddenly, the hero realizes the journey itself is no longer a burden. This is the subtle, powerful twist of friendship in fantasy. It isn't just a shield or a sword, it's a mirror reflecting our best selves. Every act of loyalty reshapes identity, redefining what the hero believes they are capable of. Consider a character who has never trusted anyone. They learn courage not through magic or steel, but through connection. Their heart opens, their perspective widens. Friendship becomes the alchemy that turns fear into bravery. Betrayal, too, reveals its deeper purpose. When friends falter or make mistakes, the hero grows stronger. They learn forgiveness, patience, and the resilience of bonds. Every failure, every misunderstanding, every reconciliation strengthens the narrative. This is why stories with deep friendships linger in our hearts. They teach that true strength is emotional as well as physical. Look at the quiet moments in epic tales. A shared laugh after a narrow escape. A comforting word when hope seems lost. These are not filler. They are the soul of the story. They make victories meaningful and losses devastating. Friendship also introduces unpredictability. Allies may act in ways the hero cannot foresee. Their decisions, sacrifices, and risks shape the path forward. This injects suspense, tension, and emotional complexity into the narrative. Consider a rogue who suddenly risks everything for the group. The audience is stunned, but the story gains depth. Even villains are affected by friendship. Heroes' bonds inspire change in those around them. A single act of loyalty can awaken compassion in the darkest heart. The twist, then, is this. Friendship is an active, transformative force. It does not just accompany the hero, it reshapes reality itself. Heroes are reborn through the eyes and hearts of their friends. Every shared triumph, every shared pain, leaves an imprint. This is why epic fantasy stories resonate across generations. Because friendship reveals truths about human nature that transcend magic and swordplay. It reminds us that even in worlds of dragons and wizards, connection matters most. Sometimes, heroes fail not because they are weak, but because they refuse to lean on others. And sometimes, the smallest gesture of camaraderie can turn the tide of history. It teaches humility, the understanding that no one can do it all alone. It teaches empathy, the ability to see the world through another's eyes. It teaches courage, the bravery to trust when fear is overwhelming. And above all, it teaches hope, the belief that together, anything is possible. This insight transforms the way we see every epic quest. The true enemy is not always the monster or the Dark Lord. Often, it is isolation, doubt, and fear that friendship conquers first. Every alliance, every bond, every loyal gesture becomes a narrative weapon. It reshapes destinies, shifts perspectives, and elevates ordinary characters into legends. Friendship is not a subplot. It is the core that turns fantasy into epic storytelling. And now, As we move toward the conclusion, we'll see how these lessons inspire action in both story and life. Let's uncover the final part, the powerful, motivating call to action that makes friendship in fantasy resonate beyond the page. Let's step deeper into the worlds of epic fantasy and see friendship in action. Picture a young hero, alone in a forest, unsure of their path. Suddenly, another traveler appears, offering guidance and companionship. At first, the hero hesitates, unsure if trust is weak. Yet as they walk together, small acts of loyalty begin to build a bond. This is where the true magic begins. Friendship born from shared trials. Every quest, no matter how grand, carries moments of vulnerability. And it is in these moments that friendships are forged. Think of a mage whose powers are feared and misunderstood. Alone, they might be ostracized or fail to control their gift. But with a friend who believes in them, mastery becomes possible. That friend becomes a mirror reflecting potential the hero could not see. And suddenly, the impossible seems achievable. A simple act, a shared meal, a word of encouragement changes everything. Friendship creates a safety net for risk, for growth, for daring choices. It allows heroes to attempt feats no one could accomplish alone. Consider a rogue who fears confrontation, hiding in shadows. With a friend at their side, Rusharai, courage emerges where fear once ruled. Every journey in fantasy is a metaphor for our own struggles. We see ourselves in heroes who stumble, who doubt, who rise again. And when these heroes are supported by friends, we understand the power of connection. Friends teach lessons that weapons never can. Loyalty, patience, sacrifice, and trust. They are the silent forces behind every triumph. Look at legendary sagas where friendship changes destinies. A fellowship crosses mountains, battles evil, and faces betrayal together. Each member contributes a strength the others lack. Alone, they would have failed. Together, they prevail. This is a story we recognize because it mirrors reality. In our own lives, challenges feel lighter when someone walks beside us. And in fantasy, this principle is amplified. Heroes are never just their own. They are the sum of every bond they carry. A healer's compassion saves not only bodies, but hearts. A warrior's bravery inspires the timid. A strategist's wisdom guides the reckless. Together, their friendship multiplies every strength and diminishes every weakness. Even conflict within the group reinforces bonds. Arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings test loyalty and patience. Overcoming these internal struggles makes victories outside more meaningful. Friendship in fantasy is rarely simple. It is tested by fire, betrayal, and impossible odds. Yet, when it endures, it becomes legendary. Heroes grow not only in skill, but in character through these relationships. They learn empathy, humility, and the courage to trust. And we, as an audience, feel every step, every doubt, every triumph. Friendship creates stakes beyond life and death. It creates emotional resonance. We root for characters not just because of their power, but because of who they are together. And that resonance carries lessons beyond the page or screen. We see that our own friendships shape our paths, influence decisions, and sustain us through challenges. Epic fantasy teaches that no hero is an island, no quest truly solitary. The bonds forged in adversity ripple outward, affecting outcomes far beyond the individual. We watch, we learn, and we are reminded to cherish those who stand beside us. Friendship is the hidden engine of every legendary adventure. It elevates the story from a mere journey to a life-changing experience. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. And now, let's uncover the twist, the deeper insight about friendship that often changes everything in epic fantasy. Have you ever wondered why, in every epic fantasy story, the hero never truly stands alone? Think about it. Whether it's a lone warrior, a wandering mage, or a reluctant hero, they always find companions along the way. Why does that matter so much? Why do stories feel emptier when friendship is absent? Imagine a world where dragons soar, kingdoms crumble, and battles rage endlessly. Now picture a lone hero, wielding a mighty sword, yet facing an impossible enemy alone. The weight of the world presses down, unrelenting, and despair whispers at every step. Can courage survive when no one believes in you? Now contrast that with the same hero, surrounded by trusted friends. Each friend carries a spark, a hope, a skill, a voice of encouragement. Together, they are unstoppable, not just in strength, but in spirit. This is the invisible magic that every fantasy story reveals, the power of friendship. It transforms ordinary characters into legends. It turns fear into determination, weakness into resilience. Without it, even the most skilled swordsman is just another tragic figure. With it, even the smallest hobbit can shake the foundations of empires. Friendship is more than companionship. It is a force that shapes destinies. It whispers courage when despair seems overwhelming. It binds hearts when worlds try to tear them apart. It sparks moments of sacrifice, loyalty, and unexpected triumph. Have you ever felt the impact of a friendship that changed your life? Think about those times when someone believed in you, when you believed in them. Now, imagine that bond magnified, stretched across realms of dragons, magic, and kingdoms at war. This is where fantasy becomes epic, not in the monsters, not in the battles, but in the relationships that endure. The bonds forged in the fires of challenge carry more weight than the mightiest sword. They define heroes in ways victories alone never could. Friendship gives meaning to quests that seem impossible. It is the unseen armor that shields hearts as much as it shields bodies. It inspires choices that rewrite fate. And yet, so often, we underestimate its power in our own lives. Heroes teach us that courage is nothing without companions to share it with. In stories, friends are mirrors and anchors. They reflect our potential and remind us of who we truly are. Even the darkest paths feel lighter when someone walks beside us. Have you ever noticed how heroes often risk everything for friends? They cross mountains, battle monsters, even face death, all because bonds are forged stronger than fear. And it is in these moments, these fragile, fleeting moments, that fantasy becomes timeless. We feel the warmth, the tension, the loyalty, the unspoken understanding between characters. It awakens something deep inside us, the recognition that we, too, are shaped by those around us. And that is why, when we watch a fellowship or a band of unlikely heroes, our hearts soar. Because friendship is the bridge between ordinary and extraordinary. It is the spark that ignites legends. It is the thread that weaves worlds together. Can a story truly be epic if friendship is absent? The answer is no. Friendship is more than a plot device. It is the beating heart of epic fantasy. It turns strangers into family, journeys into adventures, and moments into memories. It teaches us resilience, courage, and the value of loyalty in the face of impossible odds. It reminds us that even in a world of magic and monsters, human connection is the greatest power of all. It creates heroes we care about, struggles we feel, and victories we celebrate. Without it, even the most fantastical world would feel hollow and lifeless. With it, even the simplest story becomes unforgettable. Friendship is the invisible force that carries heroes through darkness, doubt, and despair. And now, let's explore exactly why these bonds define not only the journey, but the very essence of epic fantasy itself. Now, let's bring everything together and see why friendship in epic fantasy matters so deeply. Friendship isn't just a theme, it's the lifeblood of every great story. It inspires, challenges, and elevates both heroes and audiences. Think back to the heroes we've explored. Their victories were not theirs alone. Their courage was amplified by the friends who stood beside them. Every sacrifice, every risk, every triumph was shared. And in that sharing, the story became unforgettable. But these lessons don't stop at the page or the screen. They apply to our own lives, our own journeys. We too are shaped by those who walk beside us. True friends mirror our potential and remind us who we are. They carry us when we falter and celebrate us when we soar. Imagine if every hero's courage could be mirrored in our lives. What heights could we reach with loyal companions by our side? Epic fantasy teaches that no one thrives in isolation. Strength grows when shared, and burdens feel lighter when carried together. Heroes risk everything for friends because they understand this truth. We can apply the same principle in our own lives. Friendship transforms fear into hope. It transforms hesitation into action. It transforms ordinary moments into legendary memories. When we invest in loyalty, trust, and compassion, we create our own epic journey. Every choice we make, every act of support, every act of kindness shapes our story. And just like heroes, we discover courage we never knew we had. We learn to face challenges not alone, but together. Every difficult path becomes more navigable with friends at our side. Every victory feels sweeter because it is shared. And every loss, though painful, is softened by the bond we carry. Friendship teaches that success is never a solo endeavor. It shows that loyalty, empathy, and love are as heroic as any sword or spell. We see that connection is not weakness, but the greatest form of strength. And in that strength, even the impossible becomes possible. Look at the heroes who inspire us most. They never walked alone. Their greatest powers were born from the bonds they nurtured. And that is the ultimate lesson for all of us. To seek, to cherish, and to protect friendship is to write our own epic. Don't wait for a quest to start. Your journey is already unfolding. Reach out to those who matter. Offer support, loyalty, and courage. Embrace the adventure of connection, because when you do, life becomes richer, braver, and more extraordinary. Every friendship is a story waiting to be told. Every bond is a bridge to experiences we cannot imagine alone. The power of friendship is not a fantasy. It is a force in reality as well. It shapes choices, molds character, and inspires actions. Heroes remind us that shared strength is invincible, and in embracing friendship, we find not only allies, but ourselves. We discover resilience, compassion, and courage beyond measure. We uncover the epic potential within ordinary lives. So, seek friendships that challenge, uplift, and transform you. Protect them, nurture them, and let them guide you through life's battles. Remember, no hero ever stood alone, and neither should you. Let your story be epic, not because of dragons or battles, but because of bonds that endure. Cherish friendship, for in it lies the greatest adventure of all. As we reach the final chapter of our journey, let's reflect on the true magic of friendship. It is the invisible thread connecting hearts across impossible odds. In epic fantasy, it is the force that turns ordinary heroes into legends. In our own lives, it can transform ordinary moments into extraordinary memories. Think of the friends who have shaped your journey, who stood by you when the world seemed against you, who celebrated your victories and shared your burdens. Those bonds are the real treasures, far beyond gold or power. Friendship teaches us that we are never truly alone. Even when paths diverge, the impact of loyalty lingers. Every act of trust, courage, and love leaves a lasting imprint. Every shared struggle strengthens our spirit, and every moment of compassion builds resilience. Epic tales remind us that these lessons are universal. Across worlds of magic, swords, and kingdoms, the principle is the same. Heroes rise not only by skill, but through bonds that give them strength. Their victories are shared, and their failures are softened. And in that shared journey, stories become timeless. We remember them because they reflect the connections we crave. We relate to them because we see ourselves in their friendships. The power of friendship lies in its ability to teach, transform, and endure. It shapes decisions, inspires courage, and sustains hope. Every hero's story demonstrates that no journey is too dangerous when hearts unite. Consider the quiet, tender moments, the laughter, the support, the unspoken trust. These moments define heroes far more than battles or conquests. They show that true strength is emotional as well as physical. Friendship allows heroes to grow, to heal, and to embrace their destiny. And it reminds us that we too are capable of greatness when we nurture bonds. Let these stories inspire us to value the friends in our lives, to celebrate loyalty, empathy, and shared courage. Every friendship is an epic waiting to unfold. Every bond is a quest filled with challenges, triumphs, and discovery. When we honor those connections, we create legends in our own lives. Heroes teach us that adversity is lighter when shared, that courage multiplies when trust is present, that hope persists when hearts are united. Let us carry these lessons beyond fantasy worlds into classrooms, workplaces, families, and communities. Every act of friendship, however small, has ripple effects. Every kind word, every gesture of support strengthens the fabric of our lives. Let us be heroes for those around us, standing by them in darkness, celebrating them in light. Let us fight together, dream together, and rise together. Because friendship is not only the path to victory, it is the meaning of the journey itself. The greatest adventures are not measured by battles won, but by bonds formed, and the most enduring legacies are built on loyalty and love. So, look around you. See the companions who have journeyed with you. Cherish them, support them, and never take them for granted. Recognize that in every shared struggle lies strength, in every act of compassion lies courage, and in every loyal bond lies the potential to change the world. Let friendship be your sword and shield, your guide and anchor. Let it define your story, elevate your journey, and inspire those who witness it. For in friendship, both in fantasy and in life, we find the truest power of all.